Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to your own Silicon Valley Tech Talks show, your go to place to learn about technology trends and innovations directly from the leaders. This is your host, Faisal Vatul from San Jose, California. With the rise of AI, the needs for AI hardware have also become critical and foundational. AI hardware is needed to train AI models and then use them through inference. Despite that, traditionally, hardware space has been challenging for startups due to high capex requirement and long development cycles. There are amazing success stories of startups in AI hardware space. One of those is Cerebras Systems in Silicon Valley. They have just completed their Series G funding round of $1.1 billion dollars with post-money valuation of $8.1 billion. We are fortunate to have Julie Choi as our guest today. Julie is Chief Marketing Officer at Cerebras Systems. Julie is a deep tech marketing leader and have led marketing for some of the iconic companies in Silicon Valley, including HPE, Intel, Mozilla, and Yahoo. So without any further delay, let's go and talk to Julie and learn more about Cerebras Systems strategy and AI space. Hello, Julie. Welcome to our show. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Faisal. Great to see you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Great. Thank you. So, Julie, first of all, congratulations on completing Series G round. Indeed, a new phase of growth for the company. So, tell us what are the strategic priorities for Cerebras Systems in next few years?
Amazing question. Thank you, Faisal. Yeah, we are so thrilled to have just raised $1 billion in our Series G investment. And our strategy here at Cerebras is one of all gas, no brakes. So we're going to use this funding to really accelerate our growth, especially in high performance inference, large scale AI model inference, and really equip the most talented companies and the best developers in the world to go faster in AI as a result of using Cerebras.
In your previous talks, Julie, I've heard you attributing Cerebras' success and potential for growth largely to wafer-scale technology. So can you tell us for our audience what is wafer-scale technology and why do you think it's such a critical differentiator for Cerebras system?
So Cerebras is the inventor of wafer-scale engine. And wafer-scale engine is the largest chip ever created only for AI. And we are about 57 times larger than a typical chip, which is the size of a postage stamp. And every bit of Cerebras, all 4 trillion transistors, over 900,000 cores, is utilized for AI computing. And so the world's fastest AI inference, as well as the world's fastest AI training. And the way that we do this is many people ask, oh, is this another GPU? And the answer to that, Faisal, is absolutely not. So wafer-scale engine is a completely unique and novel chip architecture created by Cerebras. Our company started 9 years ago, so this has been quite a journey. And we are now onto our 3rd generation, not only of the wafer-scale engine, but also of the Cerebras systems, basically CS3. So this is the system format of our solution. And then we also make the world's largest and fastest AI supercomputers. So I think that is really at the core of the Cerebras speed advantage. It really is the architectural advantage of wafer-scale engines over GPUs. We are delivering 20 times faster speeds in inference today than even the fastest NVIDIA GPU.
Yeah, I have a follow-up question on the 20x faster inference speeds, right? So if you look at the common users today, they are happy with Chat GPT and the latencies they are seeing with inference right now. So what would the 20x faster speeds buy us? Will there be new use cases enabled with that?
Absolutely. That's an amazing question. And the 20x faster speeds are buying you a new class of AI application. Perhaps you've heard of code generation, right? So applications where programmers are developing entire applications using AI assistance. This is one of the fastest and hottest areas of investment. And we have an amazing partner in Cognition that we announced as part of our Series G funding. Cognition is a lighthouse in terms of the code gen category. These types of AI native companies and AI native use cases, so code generation being one, is an area where 20x faster inference is just absolutely, even table stakes. It's like the other area could be agents, right? Agents are collections of different LLMs, sometimes dozens even, and waiting for the AI to process each one of these calls. Like you can imagine, you could be waiting 30 minutes. I mean, who has 30 minutes to wait for an application to return a response? And so agentic workflows, code generation workflows, these are the areas where we are seeing truly unmatched demand for the 20x speed that Cerebras wafer-scale engine provides.
Makes sense. So, speaking of the Gen AI space right now, Julie, it's really diverging in terms of workloads. You have pre-training, you have reinforcement learning, then you have inference, and then you can even further dissect these workloads, into more categories. So going forward, what do you think will be the most dominant workloads in the Gen AI space, and what technology customizations will be required to cope with the needs of those workloads?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Faisal, I've been working in the AI compute sector for almost a decade, right? So, I started off as Intel's first AI marketer back in 2016. And back then, pre-training, right? Training these models was kind of like the big thing. And so the first set of scaling laws that enabled compute to train models, this was like the breakthrough. And about a year ago, of course, it's always born from the research community, we started seeing breakthroughs in terms of scaling in terms of inference time compute. And so right now, really, we're so excited. Pre-training absolutely still matters. And Cerebras is probably the only startup kind of alternative to NVIDIA that offers both pre-training and inference. And we see that while pre-training is absolutely critical in terms of training models, and especially as new model architectures are born, we believe that the inference, real-time, agentic workflows will be dominating over the next few years in terms of the real-world usage of AI compute. So you can think of it as training for making AI and inference compute required for using AI. And that's why the accelerated computing that we provide at inference time is so important right now to the developers we serve.
Julie, in terms of some of the technology knobs, right, to optimize further for inference versus training, things like memory, things like compute. If companies like yourself try to optimize into one versus another, what kind of impact you would see?
Yeah, I think that especially for inference and real-time computing, the optimization question really matters, right? The optimization and the efficiency. Latency becomes critical, and token throughput matters. Cost per token matters. Model size has always mattered in terms of the quality of response. So in inference, what we're really going to need is hardware that is optimized for blazing fast speed, i.e., low latency, high concurrency, right? So throughput, being able to serve as many users as possible, and then efficient memory access. And one of the advantages of Cerebras is our incredibly large memory bandwidth advantage. We have about 77,000 times more memory bandwidth in the Cerebras solution as compared to NVIDIA. And this is because we're a full SRAM solution with compute and memory all on one chip. So compute, memory, data just flows on one chip. And the model, you don't have to leave the chip and come back, leave and come back as you do with thousands of GPUs. And so those are just some of the things that really matter at inference time compute. Optimization, latency, throughput, and just, not moving things around from back and forth from the chip to the memory, chip to the memory. I mean, this is kind of the past model. And I think in order to really do inference for agentic and reasoning and and super intelligent AI use cases, we're going to need a different order of innovation in the inference compute landscape.
Many of the hyperscalers who are also leading, in ways the AI innovation in the industry, they are building their own AI hardware and they have programs to do in-house AI hardware. And on top of that, you have NVIDIA and AMD like incumbents who are able to fulfill their needs. So, what are the opportunities you are seeing with the hyperscalers, and why do you think you'll be successful?
Great question. Well, we love the hyperscalers here at Cerebras. In fact, just this week, we announced a new update in our partnership with AWS. We announced PayGo in AWS Marketplace. And what this means is any AWS Marketplace customer can now benefit from Cerebras inference through PayGo. Just pay as you go, right? Through the marketplace. You can tap in to the Ferrari-like inference speeds of Cerebras. And so I do believe that, that's just a small example of how AWS Marketplace is a CSP that is partnering with Cerebras to provide a premium offering, basically the world's fastest inference, the best in class inference to all of their marketplace members. I Absolutely. I applaud all the CS in their endeavors to build their own merchant silicon. And let me tell you, it's really hard to build hardware, right? That really works. And so we are continuing to partner with all of the CSPs really to complement and to accelerate their efforts, their own development efforts, their customers' efforts. There's always going to be a place, I think, for 1 + 1 = 3 types of partnerships with all of the major clouds.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Julie, for joining our show. I'm sure audience learned a lot from your insights.
Thank you, Faisal. Really appreciate the time.